Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Iconsat. The federal government, through the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has restricted licensed flight crew members from operating multiple airlines. This was contained in a circular signed by the Acting Director General Civil Aviation, Captain Chris Najomo, who declared the act as illegal, noting that the NCAA findings show that pilots and other crew members render services to different airlines. According to the circular, instances where pilots operate for more than one airline concurrently pose risk of safety, stressing that the license issued to a pilot or any member of the flight crew is operator-specific based on the approved standards operating procedures, SOPs. The NCAA stated that with effect from the date of issuance of this directive, all operators and holders of pilot license are informed that this action will be treated as a violation of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulations. At least 19.43 billion naira has been spent on the maintenance and operations of the Presidential Air Fleet from July 2023 to September 2024. Reports gathered say a civil tech platform that tracks and analyzes the federal government's spending show that for 2024, the payout amounted to 13.55 billion naira, representing 66% of the allocations for the fleet in the 2024 fiscal year. Most disbursements were labeled Forex Transit Funds, typically funds allocated for foreign exchange requirements to facilitate international transactions and engagements. In the context of the Presidential Air Fleet, such funds are used to cover expenses related to operations outside the country, including fuel purchases, maintenance, or services in foreign currencies. As the campaign for the November 16 Guber election in Ondo State intensifies, Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa took his campaign tour to Owo local government, receiving a warm welcome from traditional leaders, community leaders, and key stakeholders at the palace of the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunnoye. Kikelomo Okere has the details.
The visit was marked by strong endorsement from the royal fathers who pledged their unwavering support for Governor Ayedatiwa's election bid. Speaking on behalf of the traditional rulers in the council area, the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunnoye, assures the governor of the people's commitment to his candidacy. Oba Ogunnoye noted that the campaign could almost be seen as a formality, as the traditional council had unanimously endorsed Ayedatiwa for continuity in governance.
We have discussed this, and let me assure you that our people across the length and breadth of the local government are in your support, that you should be the next governor of the state, and will actually vote for you. The rest assured, the Obas, even across the length and breadth of Ondo State, have all decided that we should continue to be in office.
The Deputy Governor, Dr. Olaide Adelami, expressed gratitude to Governor Ayedatiwa for entrusting him with role of deputy and running mate, for appointing Omowumi Isaac, another Owo indigene, as the Commissioner for Finance. Adelami emphasized the significance of this gesture to the people of Owo, urging them to show their appreciation with vote for All Progressive Congress.
By the grace of God, this government, under the leadership of our able governor, is coming to transform Ondo State. I often say it everywhere I go. It's not, I won't say it's a politician like the typical politician. Once he promises, he fulfills and it listens to people.
In his response, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa thanked the people of Owo for their support. He emphasized the importance of peace and security of his administration and reaffirmed his commitment to completing all projects initiated under the late Governor Akeredolu's administration. He further assures the monarch that the upgrade of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic to a university will receive due attention alongside enhanced funding for its subvention.
I'm so thankful to the traditional rulers of our, the political leaders for mobilizing their people and for charging them to rally around and come out on the 16th of November to vote APC.
Meanwhile, at the popular Mobi ground in Owo, Governor Aiyedatiwa met with thousands of enthusiastic supporters from various communities, including Ishuada, Ipele, and Usho. Supporters carried placards with inscriptions demonstrating their solidarity for the governor, creating a vibrant display of community backing. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the overwhelming turnout and urged supporters to transform their enthusiasm into vote on the 16th of November 2024. From Akure, Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Court of Appeal in Abuja has constituted a special three-member panel to handle political cases from Rivers State, with sittings scheduled to begin on November 14. The move follows the escalating legal tussles stemming from the rift between Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara and his predecessor, the current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The feud has led to a surge of legal cases from the state, creating factions among political actors and resulting in conflicting judgments from courts of similar authority. In an effort to streamline the resolution of these disputes, Court of Appeal President Justice Monica Dombank Mensem appointed a special panel to oversee all appeals related to the political crisis in Rivers. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund (TETFund) has held a one-day strategic interactive engagement for heads of beneficiary institutions at its headquarters in Abuja. Ramsey Enoch Agbo has details.
In an address of welcome, Executive Secretary of the fund, Architect Sonny Echono, says the TETFund has made a significant stride in funding numerous projects to improve infrastructure and enhance research capability.
Over the past year, the fund has made significant strides funding numerous projects aimed at improving infrastructure, enhancing research capabilities, and supporting faculty development. Indeed, with the kind permission of the Board of Trustees, we'll be meeting in a couple of days. We will be.
Echono also acknowledged that effort is in place to ensure the right tax is being paid for the purpose of efficiency.
To ensure that everybody that is supposed to be in the tax bracket is coming on board, we're also collectively working to improve the efficiency of collection, that people are paying the right amount of tax. And for this too, I also want to express our gratitude to our two committees in the National Assembly who have also worked diligently in this regard.
Also speaking at the event, Chairman, Board of Trustees of TETFund, Aminu Masari, described as erroneous a view by some people that TETFund intervention is meant to handle all responsibilities in education.
Some institutions will do apologies, and some people outside there see TETFund not only as an intervention agency, but as an agency that will have to shoulder all responsibilities in education, which I believe is not right. I think it is our time we start to think.
The one-day strategic interactive engagement for heads of beneficiary institutions availed the heads of institutions the opportunity to air their views and make contributions to the smooth running of the intervention. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global Television.
Students of the Federal University in Oye, Ekiti have issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the federal government and the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to commence repairs on the federal road or face consequences. The students, led by the president of the Students' Union Government, Mary Abiodun, stormed the office of FEMA in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, to protest the ongoing accidents and death of their colleagues due to the poor condition of the Ifaki-Oye-Ikole road. The students carrying placards with various inscriptions as Fioye Students Lives Matter, Repair Oye-Ikole Federal Road Now, Enough is Enough, and President Tinubu Save Our Students' Lives, amongst others, threatened to occupy the road, making it impassable for other users. They lamented what they described as the severe harm caused to the students' population, resulting in the loss of over 10 students in fatal accidents. The head of Lagbaja family of Ilobu Kingdom in Osun State, Demola Lagbaja, says it is regrettable that the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Turid Lagbaja, did not enjoy life outside the military. The family head stated this while receiving St. Charles Grammar School Oshogbo Old Boys Association, who paid a condolence visit to the Lagbaja family's house in Ibadan. He said the family expected that their late son would, after serving his tenure, retire to enjoy the fruit of his labor, adding that the family had submitted to the will of God following the incident, saying that some tears will never dry. He noted that the late Chief of Army Staff had all his active years in the military, having completed his A-level at the Polytechnic. Ahead of the 2024 Ondo State Guba elections, the chairman, Aseyori Movement, and Senator representing Ondo South, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, has thrown his weight behind the All Progressive Congress. He made this known at the Aseyori Convention at the Fortune University in Igbo Tako Community. Kikelomo Okere reports.
It was like a carnival at the University of Fortune, Igbo Tako, as billionaire business mogul and senator representing Ondo South Senatorial District, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, leading over 500,000 Aseyori movement to All Progressive Congress. Jimo Ibrahim urged residents of Igbo Tako community in Okitipupa local government area to shun violence and come out en masse to vote for All Progressive Congress on November 16 governorship election.
Aseyori movement is an arm of APC, which I set up. And when I contested last time, I got 111,665 votes. That's a lot of votes. Now our membership are 520,000 across the state. And that's very significant to any political party that want to win the election. APC is our party. And no matter the political differences, we have to make sure that APC wins the election. And then that chairman will be on our neck. And we are happy that he came all the way from Abuja. That underscored the significance of Aseyori. And I can assure you next week, we will vote massively for APC.
Many people have described you as a good philanthropist. What is the motivation? The chairman, All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, says the convention is to motivate and encourage Aseyori members as well as appeal to them to come out en masse to exercise their franchise on the 16th of November. He applauds Senator Jimo Ibrahim for laying a solid foundation in empowerment, infrastructure, among others, for the progress of the state.
I'm so happy to see this crowd. This crowd is intimidating. In fact, the quality of the crowd is also intimidating. The enthusiasm, the alertness, the preparedness for the coming election on the 16th November 2024, we are convinced you are ready for the election.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was also represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, praised Senator Jimoh Ibrahim for bringing development to the community. He also pleaded with the residents to vote for APC for transformative regime.
When I got to this place, I was marveled when I saw the level of infrastructure that has been planted and placed here. It's a common saying that whoever brings education brings light. He has brought light to...
However, a 1-minute silence was observed in honor of the late former governor Akeredolu Olarotimi. From Akure, Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Commissioner of Police in Kwara State Victor Olaiya has frowned out reports of alleged jungle justice against some vigilante groups in the state. Speaking on the mother of one Larry Adebayo, a graduate of the University of Ilorin, Olaiya warned vigilantes not to take laws into their hands in the handling of suspects. You're watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, petrol pump price may drop as Dangote and marketers sign deal. Details of these as well as foreign and sports stories coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. And in business, the chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, has said that Nigerians earning minimum wage or a little above it will be exempted from the pay-as-you-earn tax under the new tax reforms. Oyedele disclosed this via his X handle as he answered questions about the tax reform bills. President Bola Tinubu had transmitted 4 tax reform bills to the National Assembly for consideration. The tax reforms bills, which stemmed from the recommendations of the Oyedele's committee, have divided members of the National Assembly. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has stopped importing refined petroleum products and is now off-taking fuel from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other local refineries. NNPC's Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari disclosed this at the ongoing conference of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorers held in Lagos. This is coming at a time when some petroleum marketers insisted that they would import petroleum products and sell at a price lesser than that of the $20 billion refinery. The Naira is forecasted to depreciate to 1,993 Naira against the United States dollar by 2028. Posing a significant challenge to Nigeria's pharmaceutical industry, particularly in importing essential medical devices. Reports by BMI reviewed projected that despite an anticipated rebound in the economy, Nigeria's medical devices sector will face operational and demand challenges in the near term. The report noted that Nigeria relies on imports for over 95% of its medical devices, making it vulnerable to fluctuations in exchange rates. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has secured an agreement with Dangote Petroleum Refinery to lift products directly. These, according to the association, will ensure the availability of petroleum to Nigerians at a cheaper rate. IPMAN's national president Abubakar Garima announced this at the press briefing on Monday in Abuja, following a meeting of the National Working Committee of the association. He explained that the Dangote refinery had obliged IPMAN to lift PMS and AGO and DPK directly from onward supply to IPMAN depots and retail outlets. This new arrangement with the Dangote refinery would ensure a steady and ceaseless supply of PMS products all over Nigeria at an affordable rate. On the foreign scene, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has condemned Israel's actions in Gaza as genocide in some of its harshest public criticism of the country by a Saudi official since the start of the war. Speaking at a summit of Muslim and Arab leaders, the prince also criticized Israeli attacks on Lebanon and Iran. Israel has vehemently denied that its forces are committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. In a sign of improving ties between rivals Riyadh and Tehran, Prince Mohammed also warned Israel against launching attacks on Iranian soil. Saudi's de facto leader was joined by other leaders present in calling for a total Israeli withdrawal from the West Bank and Gaza. Dutch police have made 5 more arrests over the violence which followed a march involving an Israeli football team in Amsterdam. The 5 men, all from the Netherlands and aged between 18 and 37, are suspected of public violence against persons before and after the Maccabi Tel Aviv march against local team Ajax. Prime Minister Dick Schoof said that anti-Semitic attacks against Israelis and Jews were nothing short of shocking and reprehensible. Unrest flared up again in the city on Monday evening when an empty tram was attacked. Some rioters reportedly shouted, "Free Palestine," according to local media. And running to the world of sports, Ghana have asked Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey for potential make or break African Cup of Nations qualifiers against Angola and Niger, with the first matchday 5 fixtures set for Wednesday. Embattled coach Otto Addo refused to disclose why he omitted the 31-year-old, who has scored 13 goals in 49 international appearances. In another decision involving Premier League stars, Leicester City forward Jordan Ayew has replaced West Ham United midfielder Mohamed Kudus as captain. Kudus led the Black Stars last month in home and away matches against Sudan, from which they took just 1 point, putting Ghana in danger of missing the finals for the first time since 2004. Moses Simon and Samuel Chukwueze were among the early birds to the Super Eagles camp on Monday in Côte d'Ivoire, ahead of the preparations for their 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. 6 other players, Amas Obasoge, Raphael Onyedika, Frank Onyeka, Bruno Yemachi, Gabriel Osho, and Fisayo Dele Bashiru, reportedly arrived in Abuja on Monday. The Super Eagles media officer who confirmed the report to NAN said no fewer than 8 players had arrived, adding that some others were still being expected on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Captain William Ekong, Ademola Lookman, Simon Moses, reigning African Player of the Year Victor Osimhen, and 19 other players were invited for the qualifier. The Super Eagles will seek 6 points against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic and the Amavubi of Rwanda in the closing rounds of the 2025 AFCON qualifying campaign this month. The team's camp opened officially on Monday in Abidjan ahead of the confrontation with the Cheetahs of Benin Republic at the Stade Felix Stadium on Thursday. That's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nikonsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching.